Lesson 3, Isolations.
Okay, isolations. Isolations are probably one of the easiest tricks to start off with, but probably one of the hardest tricks to pull off nicely. I want you to think like a magician. They have simple tricks, but they make it look magical. Same thing with your ball. So keep that in mind when you're starting off, when you're doing your isolations. But first, I need to start you off with how to learn it. Have a nice soft grip on your ball and allow for space between the ball and your hand. We're going to do what I like to call the handlebar trick. Okay? So this motion is like like the handlebars on a motorcycle. Okay? The axis will be located between your index finger and your thumb, and it'll be this motion. What's really great is to know how far it is off the ground and how far it is maybe from a nearby wall or your chest. So in this case, it's probably about chest height for me, and I keep it the same distance. Isolations stay in the same location. Now, here's another one. This is like the doorknob. I'm going to pull it lower just so that it has ease and comfort. So keep a nice space between your elbow and your body and twisting the ball. In this axis now. Okay, go slow and practice adding magic to it. Putting in your body, maybe even having a reference point. This is good. This is bad. Why? Because the axis is now on my thumb versus where my ball is. See the difference? So keep that in mind. Your hand might shake a little bit, but that's just because your muscles are getting used to joining all of the movements together. This is good for you. And even if you want to warm up your hands, if you're doing any sort of typing or any sort of detailed movements with your wrist. So make sure you balance both sides. Here's the doorknob, and here's the handlebar. Okay? Now, the last move in the isolation is, I say it's like a joystick. So I'll call it the joystick. So go slow, and you'll find that your hand will start to shake a little because you're actually adding movements one next to the other and joining them. So your body's just getting used to it. Go the opposite direction. And make sure you've covered the entire path. Okay? Switch to the other side and do the same thing. All right. Now that you have that, I want you to experience distance from the ball. This will create a really cool illusion. So now that you have the ball like this, take one step closer to the ball. Now take one step back. Can you do it? Keeping the ball in the same location. Let's go with a slow movement and taking one step forward. Good, one step back. Excellent. Now, another great way of adding detail to your isolation is to use your fingers. So I'm holding the ball with a space in between, and I'm moving the space, making it smaller and larger. Okay? So by doing that, I come towards the ball, keeping the ball in the same location, and now I'm going to pull. See that? So when I pull in the direction I want, it adds the effect that the ball is dragging. So you can create different effects with your ball. So after you create an isolation in one location, you can pull, stop. Notice how I added a little bit of a jerk with the stop. It adds the effect that it got stuck. Okay? And you isolate, okay, and you can even push like that. I've even added my head and my body in the motion. So pull. Now look at the ball like it's magic, and there's something about it that is making your hand and your body create this feeling. Okay, believe in it. Now if you notice there, I did a little bit of mine, which was a distance away from the ball, and I either push, this is a push, okay, and this is a pull. Okay, the distance is still the same between my hand and the ball, and I pull it at the same distance, and I stop. Another thing to add to your isolations. Let's go diagonal. Let's push across. Okay? Diagonal, push across. Another great thing is think about what your other hand is doing. So, even a motion like this, looking right at the ball, gives attention to the ball and makes it come to life. Okay? Another great isolation is putting your hands together. I like to call this the UFO. Alright, try the other way. Keeping your shoulders down, your hands loose. Okay, allowing for the movement to flow. Okay? And lastly is I want to call this the hinge. So the ball being isolated like this, I'm going to focus on my wrist. Okay, just like a wrench. Okay, now I'm going to make this the isolation point. Okay, so you might hear it as a fixed point. So this, I'll make a fixed point, my ball will drop. Then I will drop my wrist down, keeping the ball and the fixed point here. There we go, up, ball up, and up. Kind of looks like I have a red nose. Ding, ding. There you go. Pay attention to yourself in the mirror and see how that looks. Make sure you reverse your hands so you have the same effect. All right. Well, there you have it. Check out this video to play around and get inspired. Think about different shapes that you can make, diagonal. You can even go arches. Okay, as long as you be with the ball the entire time of its path. I hope you enjoyed this isolation lesson. Be sure to practice and be connected to yourself as you're practicing, and you will enjoy yourself. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next lesson.